order to understand the world, one has to turn away from it on occasion. If you've ever felt like that, then you needed to go to a retreat. Today, we're going to start a new project called The Retreat. This is Stephanie Kwame from the CAD Academy. This is a really interesting and fun project, and as we do it, you're going to learn new tools, some really powerful new tools that enable us to do the roof, which has an arch and a gable roof that actually mesh together, and that is a really mathematically difficult equation, but yet this package can do that. And if you think this is an unusual building, though, this is nothing compared to the building that this architect I'm going to introduce you to today, just a short introduction, would do. This gentleman, I'm sure, heard many times that things cannot be done, and yet he probably he just ignored him and did it anyway because he knew it could be. His name is Santiago Calatrava. He is a Spanish architect. He's from Spain. He's a sculptor and a structural engineer. And I know that you look at these and think they couldn't possibly be created or exist anywhere, but these are actual projects that are completed by Santiago. I like what he says. I'm always searching for more light and space, and that's what we need in a retreat, is light and space. He is a fellow ArchiCAD user, and you're going to find out by doing this roof today that he couldn't have possibly done that in any other package. He says that he likes organic things, and for instance, if you look at this, the reflection of that building forms an eye. That's really is a torso. That forms like a human torso. So and those are living organic things. But if you need to maybe look up Santiago and check out his work, because he is really different. He does different designs, and he would be about the only person that could make something that's like a work of art or a piece of sculpture and make it exist. And he thinks that architecture should be a reflection of its time. And so let's go ahead and work on our retreat project. So make sure that you do File, New, if you're in ArchiCAD. Or when you start it up, you want to make sure you're using a residential template. Your choices are residential or commercial. And the commercial template just does a larger sheet. And we're doing a small private little retreat. And it's important to use a standard profile so that all of our screens look the same. On the portal, you'll find a step-by-step tutorial called The Retreat, and this is again the first in a series of 3 until we complete this retreat. When ArchiCAD first comes up, it defaults to a wall. This is the information box or the info box. Make sure that you change this from that to continuous line or continuous wall. We're going to start over in this quadrant and do a beginning point, head over, and I call this directional input. I take my mouse in the direction I want, then I can type in the distance, and you can see that it's really a fast way to enter information. So I'm going 20 and 40 basically, and then when I complete this, I click on it, or I can double click and it will end it, or I can right click and say OK. So there's various ways you can end that. Now we're going to have a section here, a little room off of the main corridor. So when I move my cursor down here without picking anything, when it's got the check mark, I know I'm attached there. Horizontal is X. So I'm going to type in X, and I can change anything here. I'm going to say I want to move that over 10 in the plus position, and now I'm connected exactly 10 feet over. However, you see that dark line is the outside of the wall, and it's on the inside, so we can't have that. Select this and change it to the inside face. Now we can go 15 and over 20 and head down 15, and we're done with the initial shape. We're going to use something new today called shell. And you can see with the various shapes you could use, you could create with shell, that you could do work like Santiago has done. But we're just going to use the arch. So we are highlighted the arch. We got the check. We're going to put it this way and put it over this section. And then over the other section, we're going to do a gable roof. So we're going to select that in the info box and do a first and second, move it in, and now we have our initial shape. Let's go see what we've got. If I go to generic perspective, here is the beginning of our project, or the shape of our project. Now this roof is not high enough. Apparently the wall is 10 feet high, but the roof apparently is not. So let's get into the edit mode by doing arrow. I'm going to select the roof and come up here and change that to 10 feet. And that fixes that issue. Another thing let's do is let's select the roof here and let's change its material, because again I want it to let in the sunlight and let people see the beautiful area out there. So I'm going to somehow, maybe we should get Santiago on our team, make this clear ice blue roof, and we're going to chain that material together with the other two so that it's all see-through or clear. One thing we need to do here too is we need to extend or trim by that roof this wall. So we're going to extend the wall up by 10 feet. And then we're going to use, there's several ways to do things. You've got the pull downs, you've got right mouse clicking, but I'm going to trim by that roof. I want to keep that, and so we've got that done. Now let's do a little work on the main room. Now the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to select it. We've got the arrow, we're going to select it, escape, and now I do a black dot to get up my basically options. And what we want to do is we want to extend this a little bit. So we're going to extend that to 45 and form a little overhang, or what's called a cantilever, over this space, so that when people come in, if it's raining or storming, heaven forbid, that they can get a little relief. Again, select this. It's already in memory, the thing that we want to do up on our little pal or palette, and we're going to do 50. That looks good. So now we've got a couple of overhangs. So now another thing we want to do is do the same thing. Let's take this roof and let's extend it up 10 feet. And then what we're going to do is let's do a connect and trim. Select this, keep that, and that should be good. Let's check it out. It's looking good. Okay, let's swing this thing around and we'll work on this end. While we're here, let's select this and change its material also. So it's always under model. So if you're looking like this, then you want to select the model and select the material, change it to what you would like it to be. And then if you wanted different ones here, you could do it. But if I select these two and chain it, then it'll take it. They'll all be the same. Again, that's a quick way to do it. Lovely. Now let's select this wall. Let's take this wall and extrude it up. Let's use that connect tool to trim it. So we're going to select this and we're going to keep that. Now let's take a look at any issues that we might have. And this is amazing because we've done kind of mathematical things to it. It has to do a lot of mathematical computations, and you really create geometry when you're creating objects. But we can see that that roof is still, the gable roof is infringing on our interior space. So we are going to use our Connect tool one more time. You can see how handy that would be. And that would be really handy for our feature architect as well. So now I'm going to select this and again use that Connect tool. You can right click to get the Connect tool as well. I'm going to trim it by here. We want to keep this, and there we've got it. So now if we take a look at the under part, let's zoom out, you can see that it's connected. That is amazing to be able to do that with this software. ArchiCAD is a building information management software, but it also is an amazing modeler. So you can have architects that do unusual projects, amazing unusual projects like Santiago Calatrava, and he can create things that he wants to create as well. So this is kind of an unusual roof, but we're going to dedicate it to our feature architect. Well, that completes our very beginning first lesson. And again, go up on the CAD portal or the portal and start with the step-by-step and get to this position. And on the next lesson, we're going to continue on and put in some slabs, doors, windows, and some interior features. Thanks for listening.